And here we are, we're live on YouTube. All right. Hello there, Anna. How you doing?
I'm good. How are you?
Me too, doing just great. Nice to have you here. All right, you guys. So today we're going to talk about rudeness. And the rules on TNT are the same as always, which are pretty much 3 rules. Rule number 1 is this is not a class. I'm an English teacher, but I'm not here to teach you anything. But still, you're going to learn a lot because here on the immersions, we learn by observing how other people speak, so we can learn new expressions, we can learn new sentences, and also get confidence while practicing. Since this is not a class, here comes rule number 2. We are not here to correct you, and we ask you to not correct one another, okay? So even though I'm an English teacher, I make mistakes in here all the time, and you guys are free to make mistakes here all the time too. TNT is the place for you to make mistakes because that's how we get the confidence to speak in English, by making mistakes and learning with them. Rule number 3 is, it doesn't matter if you are the king of England or the most random person in Brazil. We don't care. We respect everyone here on TNT. Doesn't matter where you come from, what you do. Let's try to be respectful to one another all the time. All right. And rule number 4 that I invented, that is, have fun. If you're not having fun, you're doing TNT wrong, right? There's a place for you to have fun, make friends, share experiences, and have a good time. All right. What are we going to do here? Since we don't have a lot of people here today, we are going to stay in this very room, and I'm going to send you guys the questions to the immersion in the chat. All right. While I get the questions in here, I would like you guys to introduce yourselves. Vinicius, could you introduce yourself to us, please?
Sure. Good afternoon, everyone. I'm Vinicius. I'm from Avaré. I'm living in Curitiba. Right now, it's a bit cold today here, unfortunately. I work as a software engineer. I'm married, no kids, no pets, but I want to take some pet one day. That's it.
All right. Nice to have you here for one more meeting, Vinicius. And thank you for introducing yourself. All right. Guys, just a confirmation. Did everyone already receive the questions in the chat?
Yes.
Yes.
Great. All right. Anna, would you introduce yourself to us, please?
Yes. My name is Anna. I'm from São Paulo, but I live in Michigan, United States. I'm a project manager, but now I'm working in a store as a customer service, and I'm here to practice.
That is really nice. When did you go to Michigan?
Almost 4 years.
All right. And are you already used to the routine and the habits of living in the United States?
Yes. It's better. For me, it's better.
Nice. That's really cool. And Michigan is one of the states where it's kind of cold, right?
Yes, very cool. I'm next to Detroit, and it's very cold here. The most part of the year, between October and April.
Yeah. Right now, you guys are in summer, right?
Yes.
So it must be a little more.
Yes, today is very warm.
That's awesome.
Yes.
It's nice. Nice to have you here, and I hope you enjoy our conversation.
Thank you.
Great. Now, Mr. Jean, would you introduce yourself to us, please?
Yes, my name is Jean. I'm from Paraná. I'm 19 and I am a software developer and studying software engineering at the university. And that's it. I'm here to learn with you.
Awesome. That is really great. So you're studying software engineering.
Yeah.
Which term are you in?
I am at the fourth grade now.
Awesome. So it's like
Second year of the course.
so you're almost finishing.
No, the duration of the course it's 4 years, so I am at the middle.
We're right in the middle. Nice. Are you enjoying it?
Yeah, I love it.
That's really great. I am going to start computer engineering next semester, and I am really scared because there's a lot of math, and I love math, but it's quite complicated.
Yeah, software engineering haven't a lot of math because it's more about programming. So we don't pay attention a lot at math and physics, for example. But other courses like computer science, for example, have a lot of math. That's true.
Are you into math?
I like math, but I don't study it at my course, right? But
Nice.
I like.
That's cool. All right. Nice to have you here as well. Hope you enjoyed the conversation.
Yeah.
And now Mr. Vinicius already introduced himself. Tatiana, would you introduce yourself to us, please?
Hi, good afternoon. My name is Tatiana. I am engineer. I am a safety and health engineer and production engineer. I work with projects in the oil and gas company at Petrobras. Now I looking for the new projects in the company, and I work with the safety and the health. I'm looking for the safety and the health in the new project. I work with engineer, I think probably, I think it's 50 years I working with engineer. And last year I need to study more about technology, and I looking for different opportunities with technology and the engineer, and I stay in talk for improve my English, because in the future I looking for the jobs in other countries.
That's awesome. That's really great. I hope we can help you achieve this goal to go abroad and work in different countries. And one curiosity though, you work with the health and ensuring health and security and safety in projects. Are you talking about the health of like the workers and the project itself, or maybe the health and safety of the products to the customers, to the consumers?
No. When you project, for example, a new ship, and this new ship needs to stay everything in this new ship, it's necessary you need looking for the accommodation for the people, for example, for the place for your eating, and the equipment in the platform, it's safety for the people. And I stay in this position. I looking for the safety, health, and environmental before the project it's approved in the company.
That is really cool. That's awesome.
Congrats. Yes, it's a very interesting process. I love staying in the process because I learning every day.
Yeah, you get to touch like a lot of different projects, maybe ships, maybe machines, products. It's really cool.
Yes, it's I have in this year, for example, I have 12 projects, different projects. And for example, 4 new ships in Brazil, and one ship is staying stay in construction. I think it's construction, and the other ship I see the project starts now. It's very crazy because you're looking for a different how do you say etapas?
Steps
In the project. I love because I learning every day. For me it's very good.
That's pretty cool. That's awesome. Nice. Nice to have you here, and I hope you enjoy the conversation too. And you guys, I am Junior Rufino. I'm 20 years old. I am an English teacher and a social media analyst, and I've been working here, and I work here on TNT. I've been an English teacher for 3 years already, and I started here on TNT 2 years ago as a participant, just like you guys. My first meeting was shaking. I was like almost having a heart attack. I was really scared of speaking in English with other people. But it was really fun. I kind of got addicted to TNT since then, and it's been a great experience. Both participating, being a host, working on TNT, it's been great. Both for my English, for my career, and also for my personal life too. And I really love the work we do here. All right, you guys. Now, for question number 1 is, Anna, are you sometimes rude? What do you think about rudeness?
I think sometimes I can be rude because the intonation of your of my speech, or sometimes, for example, on WhatsApp, you can write something weird, and the person can think, oh, it sounds rude, but it's not necessary. Not necessarily I have an intention. But I think sometimes, I'm not in a good day today, for example. You can be rude, I think.
Nice. And what about you? Yeah. Are you sometimes rude? What do you think about rudeness?
Yes, sometimes I'm rude. I'm not a rude person, all right? The most of time I'm so funny with other people. I respect a lot, but sometimes the most of time with my little brother, I'm a little rude. Cause, for example, when he doesn't clean their how can I say it? Their not just the bedroom, but their I forgot the word. The place he don't clean it, and I I say clean your bedroom, for example, and he don't do that, and I need to say again, and sometimes I be rude. And what I think about rudeness, it's a hard question, but I think the most of times the person don't are rudeness, but when he or she are with stressed, it's easier to be rudeness with the other people. And I think that's it. I think the most of times when you have problems in your routine, in your daily, it's easier to be rudeness with the other people around you.
Yeah. No, but I understand the brother thing because I have 4 siblings. And sometimes you just want to stay quiet in your room, and the person is entering your room all the time and leaving the door open and turning on the light. And you just want a peace. So then you just get your shoe and you say, get out, and you throw the person. And yeah, it happens.
Yeah, it happens. I try to don't do that at the most of times, but sometimes I can't control it.
Right. What about you, Vinicius? Are you sometimes rude? What do you think about rudeness?
I don't like rudeness, of course, but sometimes my coworkers say I'm a bit rude because I just answer the question. Someone just asked me that bug needs fixed today, and I just say yes. So the people wanna say that's your answer, I just say yes. You just ask one question, so I did just answer. And sometimes the people just complain about that. Like I'm a one answer per person. But I don't think I'm rude. I just say what's the person asked me. So I don't like rudeness, but I don't I'm not rude, I guess.
It's like you're not being rude, you just don't want to like stay talking for long. The person says, oh, do that, to say okay.
Yes, programmers are a bit sensitive when you just say the answer. You're gonna discover that working with IT, it's a normal thing. People are a bit complicated in IT area.
It's the feedback culture. People want feedback all the time. You can't just say, oh, yes or no. They want you to
Yes.
give them a big task.
I had a boss, and he always say to me, if you're not fired, you're doing your job okay. I don't need to call you every day and say you are doing a best work ever. If you're not fired, you're doing your job okay. So I try to do that.
Nice. All right. And what about you, Katina? Are you rude sometimes?
I think yes. Sometimes I'm rude because in the engineer many many men is very how do you say skepticism. And when I stay on a place when they don't respect my professional opinion, sometimes I'm rude and I speak with the people and with I put my opinion because sometimes I see the people is rude with me because I'm a woman and I stay between many men in the project, for example. And for me, I don't have a problem for for speaking and explain my opinion because it's important in my job. And sometimes in my job, yes, I'm a rude people because if you speak a little and a sweet voice, the men don't respect in my job because in the oil and gas, the people is usually it's a rude person.
Oh, no, I comprehend. I understand you. And you're
The
correct, yeah.
the place where I work and where I it's crazy. It's very sexist, and I think if a sweet person and speak a little with a sweet person, the people don't respect this kind of person, and sometimes you need be a rude person. It's sad because I think if I stay in one position, it's because I know about the 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 situation and about this.
Because you have the qualifications for such position, right?
Yes, and I remember one. It's not usually, but if I after I become a mother, if the person's how do you say, mexer com a minha filha, I become a lion. And I am very rude.
Yeah. No, in this area, I think it's kind of understandable, completely understandable. All right, that is great. But I do understand what Anna said of sometimes waking up in a bad mood and being rude, not because we want to, but because we're not in a actual good mood. Sometimes it happens to me. I have a lot of stuff to do. I am overwhelmed with work or something like that, and I start being rude to people I don't even realize. And then sometimes I say some things to people and I said, okay, no, take a breath, let's try to be nicer because that's not gonna roll. So it happens to me as well when I'm in a bad mood. But overall, I try not to be rude. I try to be understanding to people, and like, I don't think rudeness is a way to get to stuff. One question I want to make you guys before we move to the next one. For example, Vinicius, do you think you have a strong personality?
Yes, sometimes, yes, I guess.
All right. Do you think, no, let me ask two other people as well before I make the question. Anna, do you think you have a strong personality?
Yes, but now I'm more polite. I'm usually I don't use my strong personality to talk with people because I have afraid to show some rudeness. A few years ago, when some person, the person think
Oh, I think she.
angry. I'm serious, but now I'm more relaxed. And I don't show my strong personality because sometimes
Just a question. Is it me am I freezing or is it her? Is it?
I don't know. I don't know.
For me, it's
Oh.
freezing too.
Oh, so I think
Oh.
it's your internet.
Okay, but today I don't consider me in a strong personality.
Awesome. You got to one of the things I wanted to say here, but I'm going to ask the other guys first. Then I say, Katiana, do you believe you have a strong personality?
Yes, I believe. Yeah, and I think that my personality is very strong, but now I think it's I'm control this, because if you explode, and I think it's in in many situations, it's probably your I now sometimes I how do you say explodir?
You explode.
I explode, but it's no usually, because I think it's because after I'm almost 4 years and now I think different, and now I control my personality, but I think I have a strong personality. My daughter, for example, have a strong personality. It's difficult because when you put my daughter and I together, probably my daughter it's speak, and it's difficult because the kids don't have the self-control, And I think
Ah.
the self-control, it's very necessary in our life.
Awesome. Very great. And what about you, Jan? Do you consider yourself a person with a strong personality?
I think no. The most of time I try to be kind, but I saw a lot of times. I see a lot of times persons that if they think that they are right, there will be saying that they are right and be rude with you. But for example, when I'm right and a person say, for example, that I'm wrong, I don't discuss. I just say, okay, if you are saying, I will consider that you are right. And I like to follow one. I don't know how can I say this in English, but I have watched one movie. I don't know if you have watched this. It's Wonder. It's about one boy that have a facial problem and go to the school with this situation, and one teacher say to him that if you have the opportunity to be right or be kind, choose kind and be respectful with the other people. And I try to follow it at the most of times when I can.
That's really awesome. Yes, guys. That was what I wanted to talk to you guys about. Is having a strong personality an excuse to being rude? Because some people are really rude to everybody. They say bad words, they hurt people, and they say, oh no, but it's because I have a strong personality. I don't believe that having a strong personality is an excuse to hurt people, to be rude. Okay, you might have strong opinions, you might have strong emotions, but you don't need to hurt people while you do that, or to be rude at people while you're externing your emotions. I think there's some self-control needed there. Do you think, Jan, that having a strong personality is an excuse to be rude to people?
No, if you not respect a person cause you have one problem, it not justify this. All right. It's not because you have one personality that you can go out of the trails. All right, you need to be respectful with the people when you know that they are wrong, but of course you need to respect other people, not just when they are right or don't agree with you.
Awesome. And what do you think? Anna, is having a strong personality an excuse to be rude to people?
No, but I think that today, when you show a strong personality in your opinions, for example, people tend to misjudge you, right? Usually on the internet, when you put your opinion in some, for example, on social media, when you give your opinion for something, if you have a strong personality, usually you defend it with more arguments, and sometimes people think that you are rude in this case, but I don't agree. I disagree, but today I prefer be more polite because of that.
Yeah, that's a great point. There's like, when you're defending your point, when you're defending something you believe in, you might speak strongly or expose your ideas in a more firm way. Doesn't actually mean you're being rude. Yeah. Awesome. What do you think, Vinny? is having a strong personality an excuse to be rude?
Of course not, but I totally agree with what Anna said before. I think when we just keep our position in some way, the people will say you are rude. Like, oh, of course the earth it's not a circle, and of course it is, and someone probably will say you are rude because of that. But I think nowadays, I guess the word is complicated because when you say something, a lot of people want just judge you. So in these cases, if I keep my position, and sometimes it's a rude person, I think I'm a rude person because I normally, like just said, I chose be a right person. In fact, sometimes. So I just keep my position, but I don't think it's not a rude. Just you need take your how you feel about the situation and say the truth.
All right. Speaking of judging, what do you mean the earth is not round? Just kidding.
Well, okay, I agree. I agree.
Just kidding. Just kidding. All right. And what about you, Katina? Do you believe that having a strong personality is an excuse to being rude?
No, I don't agree. I don't agree with this because because I think you are be polite with everyone, and I think it's no if you have a strong personality, I think you're believing your thoughts and your how I don't remember the crenças, how do you say the crenças, but I think it's no a position for be impolite with the people. No, I think it's no.
All right. Really great. Now, moving on, we talked a lot about a lot of stuff and then we didn't get to the second question. But yeah, what acts of rudeness bother you the most? And do you think rudeness is a problem in Brazil?
Yeah, I think it's a problem in Brazil. And the act that I don't like, it's as I said, when a person think they are right and try to convince other people that they are right, and the most of times he or she it's is rudeness, right? And not and don't just keep your opinion, but try to convince other people that they are right. I don't like this because most of times when the people do this, they're do with rudeness.
Yeah, like person wants to prove to you the water is red, and then they
Yeah.
start getting aggressive. Don't you see? Are you blind? The water is red. And you're like, oh, no,
Yeah,
okay,
exactly.
it's red.
That's true. And I don't like to discuss. I just keep that I was convinced by them.
Even because when we know we are right, I think it's funnier to not discuss, let the person do what they think is correct. And when they make a mistake or the thing goes wrong, I just come back and say, I told you.
Yeah, that's good. I think it's the better point of don't how can I say this? Don't try to convince other people that they are wrong. All right.
Awesome. What about you, Katia? What acts of rudeness bother you the most? And do you think it's a problem in Brazil?
I I think the Brazil have a problem with this because sometimes the people don't respect our opinions, and I say I I like the green, okay, and the other people say I dislike the green. I like red. Your need, your need like the red, for example. And I say, okay, okay. I for me it's a very rude because you don't respect the other person. And the in Brazilian now, and the people don't have respect for for the other opinion, and for me it's very sad and very huge because if the people don't agree with you, for me I don't have problem with this. I have my life in peace because now I chose my wars. And and I respect the other opinions because I think that when you think different, it's okay. Yeah, it's you need to respect the other opinion. But in Brazil now you have a very big problem because the people don't respect the other opinions and make a war with this. It's very crazy.
Yeah. If we speak about Brazil, especially politically, it's not like, okay, you like a person, I like the other, and that's okay. It's like, I like a person. If you don't like them, I'm going to make you like them. You know, like,
Yes, it's crazy. It's for me it's crazy because I think I don't have problem with the other opinion. I respect, but sometimes the people how do you say ultrapassar?
they cross.
They cross the limit. And I say, okay, okay, I don't have problem with this, but not speak with me with because I don't have time for discuss this thing and I don't like this. I think it's a very impolite uh, thing, and I don't like. I think it's rude. Sometimes it's rude. The people it's rude.
So, what about you, Mr. Vini? What acts of rudeness bother you the most? And do you think it's a problem in Brazil?
I think so. I think rudeness is a problem in all the world, but in Brazil, it's more. I don't like a lot of rudeness thing, but like simple things like don't clean the table when you're eating, of course, in a shopping mall or something like that. But rudeness things in like recruiters, when my wife is a developer as well, and it's kind different interviews for me and her, like for her they always ask about um if she has sons, if she want to have sons, and some kind of that stuff. They just want uh ask for women these things. Nobody ask if I have son or I want to be a father. And I think the companies in Brazil don't respect the women's working in IT as well. It's worth in fact. And I think in Brazil we just think about to make us happy, like all the time. In, I think Brazil, the problem is the Brazilian. Like the problem in Brazil, it's the people want use the like jeitinho brasileiro for everything, and that's the problem in Brazil.
You touched the point I was gonna say in my turn, but okay, that's nice. Awesome. What about you, Anna? what acts of rudeness bother you the most in Brazil? Do you think rudeness is a problem?
Yes, I totally agree with Vinicius. And that's funny because here in the United States, they don't ask you anything about your life in a job interview. The Americans are very afraid of appearing to discriminate against someone. I think in Brazil, if you have an opinion, people think you are being disrespectful to the opposite opinion. For example, as Katiana said, oh, I like green, and the other person like red. If you like if you like green, you can be disrespectful who likes red, for example. I think in Brazil it's a very people are very intolerant, and the thing you asked acts of rudeness bother me most. For me, people who do this intentionally, for example, people who are rude to employees in restaurants and stores. I've seen some situations like this in Brazil. It's a big problem.
This bothers me a lot too.
Yes, you can't be disrespectful with a person who does your job.
Yes, I think one thing that I always say is like, most of the time people are just doing their job. I know it's annoying when the people from the telephone company, I'm not gonna say any brands here because I don't want to get sued or do free propaganda. But when the people from the cell phone company call you every single day to offer you a plan, to offer you internet or something, they're just doing their job. It's annoying, I know, but they're just doing their job. It could be your job one day, you never know. Maybe one day you end up being a call center attendant and you have to call people every day to offer them things, and you wouldn't like people to be rude to you the entire day,
Yes, or for example, if you have a problem in your internet, for example, you call to the support. It's not the problem of the attendant. It's not attendant problem. It's the company problem. You can't be rude with this person.
Yeah. I had this problem with my mom a lot of the time because every time we lived in a city when we had the internet, and the internet would go down a lot of the time. And every time the internet would go down, my mom would call or message in the company, and she would start screaming at the attendant. We had this fight very often. Like, it's not the attendant's problem. She doesn't control what happens to your internet. The only thing she can do is to initiate a protocol. It goes to the attending team. But if you want, go to the company, ask to talk to the manager or to a person in the company that can actually do something. But you can't just start throwing bad words at the attendant. It's not their problem,
Yes, and these employees usually has a lot of problems with anxiety and stress, because this type of work demanding a lot of patience, a lot of kindness, a lot of things, and usually they received a very rude people, very rude words, and it's very complicated working in this area.
It really is. It's kind of difficult. Attending in general, like working with people in restaurants and dinners and the supermarkets, is quite difficult.
Yes, customer service is hard.
All right. Now, blowing your nose in public is okay in England. If you in the middle of the street in England, just go, it's okay. But in Japan, oh no, It's okay in England, but it's rude in Japan. But in Japan, if you're eating noodles, you can just, it's okay. But if you do that in a restaurant in England, it's rude. It's not polite. Who decides, Vinny? Who decides what's rude and what's not?
I guess the culture, of course, like in Brazilian, it's a simple thing, when you're in a beach, of course, the people, it's almost, uh, the people are almost naked, of course, sometimes, and it's okay on the beach, but if you use the same clothes in a city, like in a shopping mall or something like that, it's not okay, and I think depends on the culture, on the place, like I respect the some cultures, like the women need use a lot of clothes in the middle of Europe, like, and it's okay. The culture is that, but I think the being rude, you need to respect the culture, whatever when you the place you are, and we just need to respect the culture of that place, I guess. And just come, my wife always say about the last question, always say, the a person because the way they respect the person, they clean the office, like if the people are unrespectful, it's not a good person, like you see the people how they talk with the low places, low, how can I say,
People like in lower ranks.
yeah, that's it, and if the people don't be a respectful person, it's not like a good person.
Nice. What about you, Mr. Jan? Who do you think decides what's rude and what's not?
It's a hard question. All right. I think when the most of people in one place, if the most of people agree with one action, probably this action is polite. It's okay for this group of person. But when the most of people don't agree with one action, one attitude of people, probably it's a road uh, a road way to to handle a situation. In my opinion, it's depend of the the major of the people. All right, the opinion of the most of the people in one place, in one country, and of course the culture of the country, as Vinicius said.
Right. And I guess even on like smaller environments, maybe like school, for example, if you, depending on the school you go, some things are really rude and unexpected. In other schools, it's pretty normal, right?
Yeah, exactly. And sometimes it's depend of the how can I say this in English? It's the not the, the president of the school, it's the principal of the school. All right, the principal makes some rules that the kids need to follow, for example, and these rules it's wrote in other college, but in this school isn't it? All right, it's depend of the environment.
Yeah. And what about you, Aya? Who do you think decides what's rude, what's not?
I think is about culture. I have a story. My teacher works in a university here in US. She's Brazilian, and she told me this story about feedback. I think someone, I don't know if Jean or Vinicius said about feedback too. But here, if you you don't you can't talk with other people, for example, your manager. If I talk with my manager like I talk it with my Brazilian manager, there can feel uncomfortable, feel incompetent. I don't know if it is the correct word in English, but my teacher told me in a meeting to discuss their job. She asked to her manager, I would like to receive a feedback about my job. I would like to know if I've been a good job, if I needed to improve something. Her manager started to cry, and oh my goodness, I thought I was a good job with yours, and I did my best because they think, she told me that I didn't do a good job because I didn't give a feedback. In Brazil, it's very common you ask for feedback. Nobody feels offended about that, for ask about that. And the culture is very hard, because here you can ask for feedback, but you need to use a technique. I think I have a name as sandwich. Or the first thing you needed to give confidence. For example, you do you did very well your job. I like your actions, or I like your job. So if you have something to say about my job, about a thing I can improve, you can tell me. The first part, you needed to very you needed to encourage the people for make a confidence to talk.
Yeah, that's cool.
Because the culture is very different. It's completely different.
Yeah, it is kind of, they think in a different way, they act in a different way, and they might get surprised when you ask for feedback. Why do you want a feedback?
Yes.
Do you think I should give you one? Do you think,
like I said before, my boss always,
yes,
my ex-boss always say that if you're not fired, you're doing your job okay.
Yeah, it's really cool. But this makes quite sense. Like, oh no, give some background before, like, oh, really like a job. I think your model to me. How do you think I could improve my activities, or do you think I'm doing fine? Or maybe, oh, I'm in this project, I'm doing these things. I would like to ask your opinion if you think I'm right on what I'm doing. It's a kind of like different way. It's not like directly asking for feedback, but like, oh, I'm doing this and that, or I've been seeing this and that. How do you think I can improve? Or how do you?
Yes,
it's kind of like
but it's weird that they get offended, thinking they are not doing a good job. You just ask for feedback, for you. It's not for them.
Yeah, it's kind of weird. But again, it's culture. For them, it's kind of weird when we do that. All right, you guys. Well, that's gonna be it for today. We don't have time to answer any more questions. But really, thank you all for coming. It was really great. I hope you guys enjoyed the conversation. And I'm gonna be leaving the link to answer the feedback here in the chat. If you guys could please answer, it helps us a lot to understand how the meetings are going, if you like the subject, what we can improve. If your host is a crazy person, you can say that too. All right. Anything you guys feel like telling us, so then we can continue to improve our services in here. And is there anything you guys want to add or to say before we go?
I don't think so. So thank you very much. Nice to meet you all.
Nice to meet you too. Nice to have you guys here. Vinicius, Gianna, really nice to talk to you guys. And I hope you stay safe. Have an amazing day. A great rest of the week. Stay safe, wash your hands, drink water. Don't be rude to people. And see you all the next immersion.
See you.
Okay.
Bye.
See you. Nice to meet you.
Yeah.
Guys. Bye. And you person watching me on YouTube right now, if you can understand what I'm talking, it's because you can speak in English. So why aren't you here yet? Why are you not on TNT? You can do your first 4 immersions for free. You just go to talkandtalk.com.br right now and schedule your conversations. You can participate on classes for beginners, classes for intermediate students, and also immersions in all languages: French, English, Spanish, and Italian. And if you hire our pro plan, you can have access to the questions, so you can prepare yourself before coming to the immersions. You can also participate on mentorings every month and also access the VIP WhatsApp group. These are a lot of extras for you. So go take a look, talkandtalk.com.br,